So we joined back for part two. After the last part, the group had finished off the wyvern. Finally, Dante swept the head, causing the entire body to burn up. The group left as all of the corruption and corrupted features of the nest began to burn and burn away through Dante's fire. Returning later and searching around, finding a strange gem-like egg. After returning to Kanda and determining it's not anything of Fey origin, and definitely a few more questions and some research to do there, rested, and we join them now as they are preparing to make the journey back. So I'm going to ask for a roll each. It is up to you what you are providing towards the safe return. Obviously, you can aid, but after aiding, if Eleni survivals and Dante aids, Beecham can't survival.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it needs to be a different one. You can aid a person, but if you're doing a check yourself, it needs to be a different provision to how you are assisting in the safe and quick return.
What about guidance?
Guidance is just generally running. I'll allow that to be on the rolls. But you can also make a check of your own if you wish.
Before we set off, I'm just going to go up to the tree where I spoke with Tanabori and just go, I hope to see you soon. And I'll just stroke the bark and then walk away.
Okay. So we'll start with Eleni. What check?
So it has to be survival, I think, for me, because that's my best thing. So.
Okay.
Yep. Do I get guidance on that, or are we not doing guidance-y thing?
Yeah, you can guidance.
Yes, please.
Thank you. So that's a 13, which is for a total of 20 plus whatever.
Okay.
I find it. D4.
Okay.
22.
Okay. Dante, what are you?
Looking in
If you're
green-
wanting to aid, or if you're wanting to aid, provide aid to somebody, or if you've got your own thing, that's fine. Obviously, remembering abilities and stuff can also play in place of spells. So senses or other such things.
Is this just to get back, or is this?
This is basically a group check over the 4 or 5 days for you to return.
Is it a really bad? Can I simply just go? I remember the route we came.
Survivals would be that, and it is sort of covered, obviously. Sorry.
I was really hoping it was going to be intelligence.
Yeah.
I remember this rock, and there's turn over here.
No, unfortunately, I'll jump over to Ichi and give you, because like I said, you can just aid somebody if you wish.
I think I'm just going to aid. So yeah, I'll aid.
Okay, so Ichi or Bolu, who do you want to? To be fair, Ichi, what are you planning to do? Because it still might make sense one versus the other. For what Dante would do.
And we can't do a survival now.
No.
Oh.
Sorry, guys.
But as I said, things like spells and such can also.
Yeah, we're
Hey,
Lenny, myself, and Bolo are very
nature?
wisdom. I have quite high wisdom, so it's like who gets the survival first? Damn it!
+7, guys.
Yeah.
That's my best thing.
Yeah, same for me. It's my best at +6.
Yeah, I've got a +6. Although I do also have athletics at +6, but I'm not sure. I lift a rock to help guide the way.
Can I observe the surroundings and use my nature to try and help?
Yeah, so I'd say that you can use nature to almost knowledge of where the natural animals will move when you see this sort of, identifying markings and other such things.
Okay, that's good. Nice roll. 24.
Okay, I'll come back to Ichi. who I'll assume
I
takes
am
the
going
advantage
to,
from Dante.
in a similar kind of way of like where Volu's using nature to look for natural pathings of animals to kind of like use those to like navigate easier and such routes. I'm going to be using perception to keep my head on a swivel for any predators so that we can stop, lay low, allow them to pass, and then continue moving unhindered.
Okay, and that you can do that at advantage.
Or ungingered.
Well. Okay, I'll have that 16 plus 4 from the guidance, and then a plus 6, so 26.
Okay. So, you set off on your journey, and for the first few days, for the first day and a half or so, everything is very quiet. You are only really having to keep an eye out for the wyverns that are still almost using hiding times, and you know they're moving at twilight, and they're so almost predictable still as they have been over your journey here, if that makes sense. As we get into the second and third day, you notice a bit more movement, and you're almost having to move a little bit slower, as almost like they're testing. I was out a bit longer and I didn't get like swooped out the sky, and like because again, wyverns are better at hunting midday, where they don't have any sort of special sights that help them hunt, especially from height at night. And I'd say at the end of the third day, when you sort of camp down and resting, and I will sort of check in as you're around the campfire, if anything that anybody wants to bring up or talk about, or any other sort of discussion. You would notice that you are definitely seeing a lot more activity in the day, but you're also sort of getting to the edge of what is naturally wyvern territory. You're not quite at civilization yet, but it's close enough that they are scared away by the movement on the road, or those sorts of your guards attacking them or whatever. But yeah, so on the third day, you sort of sat around eating some food. Rufus is Bolu, give me a perception.
Someone aid?
I'll
No,
aid.
no. I'm gonna tell you. You can roll your own, but this is you spotting it. Like you can't really. You can point it out after you spot it, maybe. But yeah, what was it?
Go on, Luke.
We're at 21.
Mine was a dirty 20, so.
Over the last 3 days or so, Rufus has been very purposefully sniffing around the camp, and then sitting patiently by backpacks or by the campfire. Or does anybody do it? Like, if you don't, you notice it, do you interact with it at all? The sort of and he goes, can't really tell. Like, they're not they're stopping up. The specifically the things you would notice is a few times they stop at one of your backpacks, and every night they've sort of done it around the fire where you're cooking food. But it's not like begging. It's almost like they're trying to get your attention, like, I found something. And then when you sort of look over and give them attention, they'll sort of shuffle off and move away. They're not begging for the food.
Is he only doing that to Volu, or is he doing that to everybody?
Anyone that gives the attention. But Dante's perception is not high enough to catch something like this, and each you might have done a few times, but these two have noticed it.
I mean, I would get up and go with him, right? If I thought he was trying to catch my attention to something specific, I would probably get up and give him a bit of a ruffle and, Spend
Yeah,
some time with it.
and they'll spend some time, but they don't. Upon doing it, they don't do anything off the back of that yet. There's almost just
Am I
like
am I
every time.
noticing any mounds anywhere?
No, it doesn't look like he's digging or like hiding anything or. But yeah, and I
How
will
much
sort
does
of
he
go
do?
the regular amount.
Just saying, if you increase the food, more input, more output.
But yeah, so on that third night, you sort of plays. Eleni sat playing with Rufus for a moment. Is there anything that people want to talk about, or
Nothing in
I know-
particular, I don't think.
this is it, I don't know. It's sort of. I know that there's potential if Volu wanted to. So that Volu's sort of gone, had some revelation. I don't know if people want to speak, or I don't want to cut past you. Is my point. If you're all fine and not ready to broach things yet, that is also good, and we will shuffle on with the journey.
I mean, I suppose Eleni would probably talk to Dante a little bit about how he feels it's going with this weird new blue fire, and does he think he's got control of it, and should be trying to gauge, you're not going to kill somebody with this, right? It's actually going to heal them. You know what you're doing, don't you?
No. I can't say I know for sure. But I healed Spolu.
True.
Just have to concentrate. It's difficult in higher stress situations. But
Okay.
if I'm, at the temple, presumably nothing bad could happen there. Because it's completely safe and there's no one who would actually cause something to happen there. So I'm sure, say, like, I should be able to heal. How long it takes, I have no idea. Volu, it burnt off straight away, but he'd been infected for minutes.
Okay. I mean, maybe we just need to try it when we get there, right?
Yes.
Okay. As the night settles on, again noticing almost that natural. So I'd say Volu, you were doing the nature, and for Dante and Ichi, you were doing perceptions. There's just an almost more natural returning of. Again, there isn't something on mass hunting, and even the wyverns that were maybe pushed further outwards are sort of slowly returning. And while it is definitely going to take a few weeks, if not a few, a month or so, for Ichi, I think it would definitely confirm this sort of thing is more. So rather than like, I don't know, there was a lion in the area dominating, that would take absolutely ages. If a pride of lions have been dominating the area for a year, it takes so long for that stuff to return. For Ichi, this more gives the vibe of sometimes when you've been to Fey or portal broken areas and shut down the portal, it's almost like it was the energy of the portal that was keeping the creatures away, as opposed to the. So for Ichi, with the speed that everything is sort of returning, you actually think it was maybe less that this massive thing was hunting them all, and actually some of the creatures were forced away by the feeling of the presence of that nest.
Yeah.
The whatever was radiating from it, as well as having a absolutely huge dominating hunter in the area.
Okay.
It's almost lair effect. That's the vibe it gives. But it's definitely almost for Ichi. It gives the times you've experienced that is like you were around a fireplane portal. The second you shut it down, creatures start returning because they're not constantly feeling like flames are on their back.
Yeah.
Um,
This is kind of like a moment where Ichi's sat at the camp, like before everyone's going to bed, taking all that in and just kind of like smiles to themselves because as of late, there hasn't really been much opportunity for Ichi to do these kind of things as someone from my order. Like obviously Ichi has this quite big mission that they have been taking part of, but nothing that necessarily immediately has this like being able to watch the world healing kind of thing.
Hmm.
So there's just that kind of like moment where Ichi's kind of sat there looking and just has that moment of going, yeah, this is why we do it.
Nice clarifying moment for Ichi.
Yeah.
Okay. As we move into the next leg of it, next half of the journey, I'm going to ask for another set of roles from you all. You can either go for the exact same and make it easy, or if you want to switch it up, change it up.
I will give advantage to anyone who wishes it, because I cannot think of what I would be good for here. Thing I'm good for is hitting things and remembering.
Remembering.
Remembering
Character.
He's got good. He's got good. He's
Character.
got good history.
Character.
Yeah. The character has a good history. Sure.
Just throwing it out here. The person isn't very good at hitting. So, like,
Hello.
The person isn't very good at remembering.
Good
that's,
at
that's
hitting
the
and
point of
remembering.
this EG.
But yeah, so if we want to just go with the same, that is fine. Who wants to take? You have to say before you roll, obviously. Who wants to take the
Guidance, please. Guidance, everyone.
Everyone's good for guidance. Who wants to take the advantage from Dante? Do you want it still to be with Ichi, or does somebody else want to?
It's up to whoever wants.
That's why I'm asking.
Roll a d6 and then you decide.
Yeah. Chris, roll a d6. 1, 1, 2, Eleni. 3, 4, Ichi. 5, 6. Vola.
6.
Vola.
Yeah.
Okay, so survival from Eleni, perception from Ichi, nature with advantage from
Okay. And guidance on the top.
guidance on the top.
Yeah.
I needed that. Thank you.
Okay.
You are welcome, sir.
Oh. Okay, that balanced out.
Dirty 20 survival.
26 again for perception. Ooh. This time a 19 on the dice, a 1 on the guidance, and then +6.
Nice.
23.
Okay, again. This
Thank
time.
God for the advantage because I got a 2.
Yeah. As you shift into the 4th and 5th day, 1 second, apologies.
Bless you.
Bless you. Well, 3 of us are 6 now. Thank you.
Sneeze free. Woo!
As you move into the 4th and 5th day, the things you start having to sort of be aware of are just the more natural, pitfalls in the land, watching out for natural predators. The wyverns that you do see are sort of shifting in their movements back towards areas further away, and you notice that even when you are spotted, then they're starting to act more naturally. That one singular wyvern wouldn't take a group of 4 humanoids moving quickly over land. Like, that's not the sort of you haven't seen them and they're going to drop on you from somewhere. So again, for those that did the good rolls on information about wyverns, then that's returning again sort of very rapidly to their natural hunting patterns. And as we hit the start of the 6th day, and you see the dustier tinged buildings of Foothill in the distance. Is there any? Again, there's no sort of there's not been any sort of real sort of order to the travel, but you sort of hit the road. Is there any? Do you want to move in a certain pattern, or are you just sort of moving as you go? And are you trying to make it look like anything? Because I believe you did tell that guard that you are friends with that you were heading eastward.
I mean, I don't think I don't think we were particularly trying to hide where we were going. We've not been sneaky. I mean, if anything, we could just look like we'd gone out hunting, couldn't we? We've not.
I feel
Yeah.
that was what we actually said we were going to do.
So I don't think we'd necessarily be trying to sneak back into Cadfesti. I think we,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So as you start to get closer to the sort of the buildings, you know, and there's a fairly big difference for between Foothill and Cadfesti, in that Foothill was one of the smaller settlements that was here before Cadfesti was a thing, and only really maintained any sort of living status because of its crossroad point on the mountain. If not, it would have probably faded like a lot of the other smaller settlements did. And you can see the slate roofs and timber. There's a strange mutedness to the town. And as you sort of fully enter into the town, those of you with high perceptions would notice the usual bustle of caravans and traders has thinned. You see some of the supply wagons sit idly nearby, and drivers are sort of sat like smoking a pipe, feet up on the side, and you can hear bustles. A few shops remain open, but a lot of the windows on the buildings are shuttered. And as you start to get closer to the guard checkpoint to head up the mountain pass on the far end of the town, you can see that it has almost been hastily improved. So whereas before it was like, you know, a bit of a palisade, a bit of a, not palisade, almost like the barricades that you can make, they make with sort of like cross spikes. It's now wooden palisaded. Only hastily left and right, just to sort of give them a bit more holding space.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that you're not noticing any of the like guards that were here previously, and actually there's polished armor and soldier looking troops in the area. And as you sort of get a bit closer, those with high perceptions, you would notice a sign: the city of Cadfesti under quarantine. Travel further beyond this point by special permit only. You see a large pair of wagons off to the side, are loaded with medical supply, labeled crates and such, food supplies, all under the sigil of the Temple of Astera, sort of waiting and being checked over by a set of guards over to the side. The town square is silent almost. There's no children, there's no real people sitting on the sides. You can see that some of the bulletin boards are almost plastered in no sick here, stay calm, Astera watches us. But you also see others pinned to rocks and posts that say, don't drink from the wells. There's the feeling of rumour and panic. While there's definitely no signs, as you're looking around and entering, of any like corrupted, as you approach the gate a bit closer, you would notice that it is like a guard unit stationed here with one of the temple priests. You don't recognize them, but you would recognize the clothing and the sigils. And one of the guards will approach and say, only special permits allowed beyond this point. What is your business in Cadfesti?
We live here. We only ventured out to fetch some possible ingredients to help with the infection. How have things progressed? Apologies, my name is Ichi. I'm with the Order of the Iris.
I would
Go up
lean
to
in.
Gambas.
I would lean in and say, High Priest Arcaner sent us out to see if we could find anything to help the infection.
So I'll say each you can give a persuasion with advantage, because technically, not a lie, you do have the sort of permissions to investigate and things
I was
like
going to
that.
say,
So,
yeah, I have like the seal and paper from.
yeah, so it's not going to be a deception, but you would see this guard does not know if you are, like, they don't know fucking the High Priest Arcaner from Jack over there. So like, there's
Yeah.
almost you drop me a persuasion with advantages. With the,
Oh, that's a natural 20, meaning that is going to be a 26.
Okay.
A natural 20 and an 18, both good rolls. I have consistently rolled 3 26s in a row. Like, I'm worried. Where's the downfall going to happen?
Literally.
In the middle of a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next time you jump off a cliff.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
or holding onto a wyvern.
Luckily, no more wyverns for us to worry about
They
so far.
They would, you would see the sort of first sort of look over to the priest, who obviously does recognize the name High Priest Arcaner and shrugs and possible. They would you mind joining us in the guardhouse?
Oh, of course.
They would sort of invite all of you, although a bit of a squeeze with Rufus as well. And definitely
We don't leave Rufus behind.
Yeah, definitely giving the vibe that it's not that it like they're trying not to let lots of public information out necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
They would invite you in, and you would see the guard that you're speaking to is a middle-aged human male. As they sort of head into the guardhouse, you would see a getting on to elderly dwarven female and a younger half orc. And the guard that's sort of taking you in sort of says, go and stand watch for a moment, please. I need to speak with these. And they nod and head out with their gear. They sort of, you get the idea they were maybe on break. They're sort of rotating in and out. And they would sort of invite you to sit. They would offer you drinks, but you can see that it's basically barrels of water. And actually, a lot from the glance around the room, they are not very well provisioned. Like, it looks like they've scavenged and done up the weapons from around the town. It's as opposed to their armor's very nice and fresh because they're sort of set up, and their weapons are good, but the additional militia weapons are hose and other things that have been sharpened and that sort of thing. As you could all sit, would you all take a seat or are you standing?
I would stay stood.
Dante
And
always
and
stands.
near the door as well.
I'll sit down.
Ichi will take a seat.
He has taken Dante's spot, so Dante will just stand behind Ichi.
We were sent down here maybe 2 days ago. The quarantine was placed into effect, but I'll be honest, since then things have got very quiet up the mountain. No entry, no exits, not without the temple or militia, right? I don't know a lot as I was already stationed in the Bastion, but the word was, even last week, the word was that the temple was becoming overrun with sick folk. I don't know if you guys can hear the vehicles passing.
No.
Okay, that's fine. That like, it was crazy loud, so I don't know.
I've got that as well. I've got cars going by, and I'm like, can they hear it?
Yeah. Word was the temple was overrun with sick folk. Too many, too fast. They got permissions for us to go in and search force with force, and we found many, and unfortunately many that went to collect them became infected, and it's all coming from below. The catacombs or the mines, all of it's closed. We haven't had any cases down here, but folks are getting nervous.
We have the cure.
We have a cure.
They do look it. That is a big claim that I would keep quiet about, and I won't until you are where it is you need to be. The people, the something like this has never happened because Fessy has never closed. People down here are talking and panicking and beginning to worry. They would ask to see your papers and things, and your official seals and just stuff like that to fully do the checks that they're supposed to do. Everything should be fine for us to let you through. When you get up to the top, I do not know how the city is faring in itself. I know that Sergeant Felin was manning the gate to the bastion when I left. That's Fellin.
Sergeant Felin.
They might be able to get you through. I'll be honest, I do not know what the checks are like at the gates, if they're letting people through or not. We have only had supplies for the city and taken what we can, but this all came about so quickly, it doesn't seem like we've had a chance to prepare.
Volu, could we cast sending to Arcaner? At least warn her that we're coming. Maybe they could meet us or send someone to collect us at the gates.
Yeah, I can speak to Arcaner. I don't know if you want to send your owl to
My raven thing. Yeah, I
yeah.
could do that too.
To what's his name, the guard that we know.
Yeah,
Whose
whose
name
name I
escapes
would
me.
forget. It's
Guardian at Guardhouse.
Volkov.
Yeah, Sir Volkov.
Sir
Got him.
My brain went blank. I was like, not Sir Arthur, not Volkov. Yeah, I'll send. I will get my little silver raven out, Liam, and I will send that. And it's just animal messenger, so I'll send that saying, it's Eleni. We think we've got a cure. We're on our way. And I'll send that. But I think we need to get Arcaner to get someone to meet us right at the gates to let us in.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah.
I'll send. We think Dante can help. Send someone to the gate to let us in.
Okay. You want to just do that?
How long did it take us to get from Foothill to the Bastion gates last time?
A few an hour or so, hour and a half.
Okay.
Mostly because of the incline.
Yeah.
It has to slope, wind its way up the mountain. There would be a pause before there's. Thank God. And as they speak Volu, they sound tired. Their voice coming through this, tensions are high. I'll meet you myself. Bastion, yeah, okay. Don't enter without an escort. The temple is overrun.
Shit.
Just actually, wait, no, I'm not going to do that yet.
How many days have we been gone? Like a week and a bit?
2 weeks. 2 weeks at this
15 days.
Yeah, because it was a week there. You shortened it a little bit, but then with
I was
the
gonna
delays.
say, I thought it was I thought we had loads of time. I thought it was like 3-4 days there, and that's why we were saying we had time.
Pretty sure when I watched about recently, it was supposed to be 5, 4 there. Then you've had 2 days rest while you were there.
So it's like 10 days, not 14.
10 days.
Right. Okay.
And the quarantine went up 2 days ago. And to be clear, when they're speaking, they're saying overrun. It doesn't sound like, it's like there's just too many of them to deal with.
So we're not
they
talking
can't.
zombie apocalypse. We're just talking
No,
there's a
it's
lot.
for the
Right.
vibe that from especially from
Pandemic.
it's more literally we can't actually take any of them into the quarantine, into our safe magic zones. And at that point, like, and for you guys thinking about it, if they've gone into quarantine, they're probably also boarding up some of the infected. In terms of if you can't take that family into the temple, we've got to stop them leaving their house. So
Yeah.
so that more is the by overrun. They've got no space.
Yeah.
And actually no way to heal them. You know, they're healing people from dying, but they've got no way to clear the rooms.
Wow.
There would only be, after you sent your message, the captain in front of you would say, I will have Dora, one of the companions, guide you up and explain so that you are not having to re-explain as well to another set of guards. I hope what you have found is real.
Me too.
As you exit the guardhouse, you catch the end of the young half-orc it looks like they're getting information from one of the caravan drivers that is driving the medical stuff. And you sort of like they're almost going, word is one of them broke out of containment within the temple itself. And so the half-orc's like, I hope Astera is watching us. It's almost they would sort of, again, they sort of hush up, and there's a look from the captain to the half-orc on, like, you shouldn't really be gossiping and sort of drumming up the potential rumours. And the half-orc sort of straight and sort of stands up straight. They would look over to the dwarf and say, Dora, can you take these? They would, yes, leave it to me. Do you need to prepare anything here first, or are you ready to make the journey?
We can go whenever.
Believe so, yes.
And again, it is still just that sort of barrier gate, but you can see that it's like guards are only the people who are touching it sort of vibe, and you sort of approach and you lift and you are able to move through. And as you start to climb and reach the top towards, you can see the gates barricaded and the signs more heavily guarded, and you notice as you approach that all the guards are wearing thick scarves and masks and other such things. Again, there's definitely the vibe that they don't really know how it is spreading or what's causing. And again, for you weren't spreading that information in the beginning, and obviously the higher ups have decided to continue that. So there's sort of a variety of, that person's just got a bandana, that person's got like a real thick wool thing, and as you approach the gate of Cafesi, that is where we will leave this week's episode.
Oof.
Wow.
That's gonna
Lots
be
happening.
Thank you very much for joining. As always, thank you very much for playing. If you're enjoying the adventure so far and want to know what's going on next, hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you know when the video's coming out. And as always, rule well. Bye.